Hey everybody, welcome to ChinFat. In this episode, I'm continuing going through Davinci Resolve. We're getting close to the color grading part here. We've been going over the scopes, over the tools, and in this episode, we're going to be going over what we call the node tree. So that's this little thing right up here. And you're going to create like a tree out of this based on how you're going to be color grading here. So let's get into that. So first of all, what this is right here, at the very beginning, the way this flows is you start off with basically the raw footage, how the footage came out of the camera right on this little starting point right here. And they actually call this little part right here your input. And this is basically what it came out of the camera looking like right here. That's your log footage right there. So this is what's called your input untouched. And then as you go down, you're going to be making changes across several different nodes. And then finally at the end over here, this far right one, it will be called your output. That's going to be delivered and will have the final look, much like this right here. If you've gone through several nodes and done all this color grading and you go to the output, this output is what you're finally seeing right here. And that is your final image. Now, as that moves across to this first, what they call a node, this node is going to be any sort of grade that you add to this. As you start making adjustments to your image, you're going to see some little icons pop up here. See, like if we go down to the color wheel and we start grabbing and pushing this into the blue, you're going to get this little, these are basically like an RGB color sliders right here, that little symbol. But you can see that it's been turned a little bit bluish. And if we go up to our contrast here and grab that, so anything you push in the colors here is going to have a little icon for it saying that you've made adjustments in the hue. So if we grab contrast, which deals with brightness levels, if you grab that and start dragging, or if you grab a pivot, or you'll notice it's not adding a new one. All these items right here is going to add that little circular wheel, and you know that you've done some changes on this specific node that deal with these little sliders right here. And like as we do the saturation, even though the color is changing, it just means that we've done more changes. That icon is still there. And then another icon that will show up is if you go on the curves and start creating a curve, you notice it creates a little curve right there. So we've made 3 changes to this. There's other ones that it will make. So the curve does show up that you've done a curve there. So it shows that I've done changes in our hue, our brightness levels here. So another thing that will pop up as well is if you go to masks, if you end up doing a mask on a certain part of your image that you're color grading, I will get into this later, but if you click onto this right here, it will now say that it has a mask added to that as well. So we've got changes done in our hue, which are these down here, the wheels down here, and also these sliders right here. We'll add that little icon right there, and then this little circle here are going to be these temperature, tint, sliders, contrast, and these ones on the bottom as well. And then the third one is going to be any one of these curves here. We'll add that icon to show that a curve treatment has been done to this. And then the last one is your mask, which is right there. And we've added a mask to this. And now it shows that we have had those changes made to that one node right there. I'm going to clear that. The way you can clear a node is you can right click on it and just say reset node grade. If you want to do the entire node tree, you can do command home, your home key. And it would be that's on a Mac is command home, and on a PC would be control home. So and that resets this back to normal. If you have a whole bunch of nodes here, and by the way, the shortcut Option S or Alt S on a PC, Option S on a Mac will add nodes. We'll keep adding nodes there, and you can rearrange these and put them anywhere you want to. If you get a whole bunch of these going later on, then you can rearrange these and make room for them. Let's add a couple more. See, we're kind of compressing more into the space there for cramming them in here. You can also go up here and make them smaller right up here as well by sliding this up and down there. But you can totally rearrange these. These can be detached as well and sent off to other nodes. We're not going to really get into that right now. And the way these things work is when you have a whole bunch of nodes, I'm going to delete a few of these and show you with just 2 nodes here, the way this works. This is what we would call somewhat destructive color grading. And when I say destructive, I don't mean it's absolutely destructive. It's basically destroying the look. If you do something on this image, this next node will act like this is how the footage came out of the camera right now. So let's give an example of this. I'm going to go down, I'm going to grab the contrast, just contrast this up a bit. We're going to make this really dark, really contrasty there. And I'm going to hit pivot to brighten up the image a little bit as well. And so I've got one treatment that's been added here, nothing on this one yet. But when you go to this node now, the image looks like the previous node. So this is downstream basically. So whatever effects you do here will affect every node downstream from here on out. There are instances where you can do parallel nodes. We're not going to get into that right now. We're going to stick with the basics. But now that this has been done, let's do a little bit of an experiment here. I'm going to grab the contrast. I'm going to contrast this up so much. I'm going to grab the darks and crush them and make them really super dark. And then let's turn up the brightness levels here and make it very contrasty. But what I'm trying to do is intentionally kind of crush these dark levels here. Let's even go exaggerate a bit and super crush them. and stretch these out. Now, if we're looking at our histogram here, or if we look at a waveform, let's look at the brightness levels. We are close to crushing all of our darks. We're going to even exaggerate that even more. We're going to just push these low lights down and crush them so it's super, super dark. All right, once we've done that, to show you what I'm talking about, if you have crushed the details in this node, going downstream, you're not going to fix it in this node. If we grab the darks in the second node here, I've got the second one selected, and we're going to boost up the gamma here. It'll bring back some of the detail that it can that's been preserved in the area. But the more we gain this, you'll notice we're still not getting details back in some of the darks. Those darks have been crushed, and they're going to stay crushed because this is fairly destructive as you go from this one down to this one. So keep that in mind. If you're trying to preserve detail, it's best to do that on just a single node rather than nodes that come on downstream. So let me show you kind of a practical method of what I would use this for here, the node tree. Let me do Command Home or Control Home to set this back to normal. And this is what they call log footage, very flat looking. The camera, once again, shoots in log, so you have a higher dynamic range. That means everything in the shot has been pushed more toward, you can look at the waveform, it's been flattened. Right now it's underexposed, so it's sort of pushing around like maybe average around like 35 IRE on the scale here. What I'm going to use the first node here for is going to be basic contrast and exposure levels. So I'm going to grab my gamma levels down here, and I'm going to increase them in the mids until I get kind of a mid-range exposure right around there. And now it's looking pretty washed out, but now if we grab our contrast and drag that, it's going to spread this across here, and I probably pushed that up, the exposure up a little too much. We're going to pull that down toward the mids right there, a little bit more right about there. That's looking good. So, but now I'll get the level of contrast that I want. I'm going to go a little extra contrasty so you can see what's happening here. And then I'm going to boost my gamma and get this in the exposure range that I want. Okay, so I've done some basic contrast. Shows up with that wheel there, and the hue sliders here. I've done some brightness levels on these down below, and I'm going to keep that as my first node now. There. So now I can right click on this. I'm going to say node label, and it's going to add this little node label right there, and I'm going to say, I'm going to call this one brightness and contrast, B and C. That's an easy way for me to remember. That's my brightness and contrast node. Because sometimes you want to do these separately, and you want to look at them separately and see what effect you've had, so you don't want to do everything on one node most of the time. So I'm going to hit Option S or Alt S on a PC, create a new node, and we're going to use this one. Let's say this one I'm going to use for balancing the shot. So I am going to right click, and we're going to go node label. I'm going to say this is going to be my balance there, my color balance, to make sure that this is accurately balanced. So now I'm going to go under, let's go under our histogram, and we're going to look at the balance. And this is pushing a little bit high on the red and the green, so I'm going to push the blue up a little bit, so you get these kind of mountains that are kind of matching, and that is what would be called balancing our shot. I'm going to go to the gamma here and watch my histogram there as I push the blues up there and get it maybe right about there. And we've cooled it off a little bit. It has a little bit of a cooler look now, a little bit more white look. To me, that looks a little bit more like daylight. But now if you were to disable your whole node tree and look at it, this is why I'm not putting it on one node. Pretend it's on one node, and right now I'm just going to bypass the whole grade. Shift D will bypass the whole grade, and that's what it looks like before. So I can't see what it looks like. If I did this all in one node, I wouldn't be able to see what the balance changes look like that I made. So what I can do now is I can select just one of these nodes here, and I can hold down Command D, it would be Control D on a PC, and just disable this single node. Control or Command D will disable a specific node. Option D will disable all the nodes, and then Shift D just does a bypass. It keeps them active. It's almost the same as Option D, but Shift D will just bypass it and show you the original footage immediately. So I hit Shift D, bring that back. So once again, Option D turns off all your nodes, and Command D will turn off a specific node. So look at the change that I've made here, and I hit Command D, and see how it's gotten a little warmer, a little more greenish and reddish there. So, and I don't like that look. The whites don't look really white, but watch this, Command D, and now my whites are looking a little bit more white there, looking more like sunlight. So now I can use a different node to do, let's say, saturation. So I'm going to hit Option S and make another node, and I'm going to call this one, right click and go node label, and we'll call this saturation. Just sat is good enough for me. So now I can go down to my saturation here, and I can just use this node just for my saturation. Let's turn on our vector scope, look at this, and I'm going to look at my colors here. And with my color wheel here, that looks like it's kind of pushing up this whole image. is somewhat balanced. It does have a little push toward the red there, which is probably the wood that you're seeing here. It's really bright brownish reddish color there. And we've got a little bit pointing off toward the yellow, which would be probably these yellow flowers. But everything's kind of sucked in toward the middle, so this isn't terribly saturated. It looks normal. But if I grab the saturation and drag that out, you'll notice how it blooms that out on my vector scope and makes it more saturated. Right there's way too much saturation, how the colors are kind of bleeding there. So I'm going to grab the saturation, drag it down, and I'm going to start at 50 is where this begins, and drag this up and watch the colors. And I just boosted those up, and this hasn't gone quite halfway from the midpoint to out, so this is not really getting terribly oversaturated. It just looks like a very saturated image and looking really nice. All right, so then maybe one other thing I can do is option S and add another node, and we could use this one for secondaries, for secondary color grading. We'll call this one of the secondaries we might do. Let's say, do node label, we'll call this flowers. Actually, I'll call this secondary flowers. There we go. For sure there. Secondary flowers. So secondary is where you're not doing a global correction over the entire image. You're doing it over a certain portion of the image, which we've demonstrated in one of our previous episodes. So what we can do now is we can go to our little qualifier here. This is where you do secondaries. I can zoom up to this. I'm going to move my mouse over and scroll up, and I'm going to select some of these colors. I'm going to click a range of these colors by click and drag, and it just selected all those colors there. Here's the center of the hue selected. Here's the level of saturation. Here's the level of luminance. Once again, I showed this in a previous episode. Now I'm going to go up to our highlight, turn that on, and this will do the color gray highlight. And by the way, middle click and drag. I'm middle clicking on this. I do a middle press on the mouse wheel, middle, but just press it down inside and move my mouse around, hold it down, and it drags this around so you can get it to a certain portion of the image. Now I can change my width here and see how that grabs more of the flowers there. Let's move the saturation. We're trying to get mostly the yellow there. There's a little bit of yellow in the stems. Let's grab our luminance, and there we go. Now I'm getting a good mask of just the flowers there, and that is going to be just on this secondary flowers right there. So now I can grab our saturation. Let's grab our color boost, which is kind of like a vibrancy slider, and I'm going to just boost that up right there. See how yellow they're becoming? That's probably too much. In fact, I see a big peak of saturation going toward my yellow right there. So that's getting a little overly exaggerated, so we're going to tone that down a little bit. Maybe right about there. I do want to exaggerate it just a little bit, just to show you what is happening here with the nodes. And let's blur our radius here, blur our mask a little bit, soften the edges. There we go. Okay, let's turn off my mask right there, my highlight. Shift Z to go back out, to zoom out. And now I've got that on my flowers right there. In fact, let's zoom up there and just look at what that's doing right there. As I hit Command D, watch what happens to the flowers. Boom. Command D, it's off, and it took that color boost that I did off there. Hit Command D again, and it brings it back, and now you can see what it's doing to the flowers without affecting anything else in the image there, because we did secondary on the flowers there. So Command D, and look at the flowers kind of get brighter or get yet more yellow and go away. So we're going to leave that on there, and let's say we want to do one more secondary on somebody's skin here, like just making sure that their skin tones look accurate. So we're going to get it on to where the person walks in here, and we're going to call our next one Option S, and we're going to call this one, right click, node label, we'll call this skin, and there's only one person in the shot, so it's just the skin fix. And this would be a secondary as well, because we're just fixing skin color and nothing else. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to drag my eyedropper across the skin here and grab some level of the skin. Let's turn on our mask and take a look at what it's grabbing here. Let's change our width. We're going to try to get as much of the face without getting much of the background. So we're going to, now look at that, it's getting rid of a lot of that background stuff there. So let's grab our luminance, slide that around, and we're going to just try to get as much of the skin as possible. Widen that range. Saturation, we're going to move that around. We could increase our colors here. That one's getting a little bit more. And now I think that's looking okay there. We can go into our black and white mask, and we can clean the black a little bit and clean the white a little bit and kind of smooth those out. And then we'll do a little bit of a blur, and we'll show you what's going on. So soften it up a little bit, and there it's grabbing a portion of the face, most of the face and hands there. Now I'm going to turn off my highlight, and we're going to boost a little bit. Let's look at our skin color here. Let's see what we're getting. I'm going to just do the face, and we're going to do color gray right there. And it looks like our skin is pretty accurate. It does look like it's maybe a little bit too much to the red on our skin tone line, so I'm going to drag that off to the left a little bit. You can see that shifting there, and we're going to get it right about there. That's corrected. And let's give a little bit more color boost to this just to bring the colors out. We don't want to get it too much or it's going to look like it's bleeding, but I want to just show you what happens if we give it like a slight color boost. Let's just go up to about 10 there. And then let's look at the before and after. So let's go up and turn our mask off, our highlight off. And now let's hit Command D, and look at the skin here. There's before, there's after. And I probably give a little bit too much color to it, but just to show you what's happening. That'll show you our entire image here. Can I hit Shift Z and show you our entire image? So the very first thing, if I turn this first one off, the first one that's going to be affected is balance, and we will not see that contrast level. And same if let's grab this one and turn it off, Command D, and there's no more, it lost all of its contrast. It still has that coolish color balance and the saturation to it, and the secondaries on the flowers and the skin. But if we do these one by one, let's turn off the balance. See, it got rid of the cooler color there, and then saturation. That brought down the saturation a little bit. It looks a little bit more grayish. And then secondary flowers, you can barely see it because all these other things, because these are affected by, when I'm grabbing the hue, saturation, luminance on this item right there, it has to have these ones on to select it. Otherwise, there's really not much that's changing there. And the skin tone as well. If we zoom up, let's see if we can see any change. And I see virtually no change. That's because it's relying on these previous nodes, a certain level of contrast and brightness levels and hue and saturation levels to be able to select the skin there. So let's turn these back on one by one now. Now they're all turned off and we don't see the grade at all. So now I will hit Command D on the first one. That brings back my contrast. Go to the balance, Command D. There's my balance, shifting a little bit more toward the cool. Saturation, just a little bit more color boost and saturation on there. Just a little bit more saturation on that overall image there. And now let's go to secondary flowers. And you have to watch closely. Well, we can zoom up here and show you. Command D, watch the flowers. There they are, bright and yellow. Go to the skin and watch the skin color. Command D, how all warmed up. And there we go. So I've done a color grade here, and this is what is called our node tree. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you can save your node trees, and you can save them up here in the gallery stills area right there. So I've got a couple up here already. I'm going to delete these and show you how to add these new grades. So I've got this for my wide shot here in this location. I can hit Command Option G or Control Alt G on a PC. So Command Option G will save my grade over here. And if you want to remember what that is, you move over just right below it and click, and it adds a cursor right there. And now I can say this is my wide shot. And even if you're doing scene numbers as well, we could even put scene numbers. We could say scene 1, if this is the opening scene, we can call this scene 1 wide shot. And now that grade has been saved. So now if we move to, let's see if we've got another wide shot that we can move to here. See, I don't really have another wide shot that's in the same scene, but we can use it to go to our medium shot here. Let's go, here's where she walks out, and then we cut from here to a medium shot right there. So there we are on the wide shot, and here we cut to our medium shot right there. And what we could do is we could borrow this grade from it right here. If we move our mouse over like this, you can see what it's going to look like once I select that as the grade. And the way you do that is you hover over the item that you want to choose, and you do a middle click on your mouse. You push down the middle wheel and click it, and it will choose that node tree, that same node tree from our previous clip right here. So this one now has the same node tree, and as we play through it, it looks good. And then as we cut to the next one, this one looks a little too bright, so we could go to a brightness and contrast and turn that down a little bit. Just go down to our gamma and turn that down to where the brightness level looks good and it matches. So now as we play from one clip to the next, and we cut, that looks pretty good. That looks like a match there. We are going to show you in future episodes how to do some better side-by-side matching. And now that I've cut this close-up, it looks like these are kind of glowing a little too much, so I can select that and grab our color boost and turn that down a little bit. And just get it to the proper level, and that looks pretty good right there. So yeah, if this image is pretty much the same as it goes from shot to shot, if it's within one scene, you can basically copy these node trees, and sometimes it does get a little bit more complex than that as well. So that's the node tree, introducing the node tree. In the upcoming episode, we're going to finally show you how to just sit down and start color grading a project. Well, thank you for watching ChinFat, and if you have any questions or comments, please let me know.